Stop letting the box define you. It's time to expand. You're listening to the Confident Woman Lead podcast, the podcast for Black women who want more power, more clarity, more pay. Whether you're stuck in the middle or already in motion, this space is yours. Hey there, welcome. I hope you are having a beautiful week. I am having a wonderful week myself, and today's episode is one that is personal. We are halfway through April. I know it's gone fast, but if you're thinking, oh, geesh, it's halfway through the month already and I haven't, fill in the blank. I want to remind you that you said that this month would be different. And if you've been here with me every weekday this month for this podcast, you already know that something is shifting, not just for you, but for me too. This moment is a moment where it's an invitation for all of us, including you, to expand. But not just the kind of expansion that leaves you overworked, overwhelmed, or over it. I'm talking about real expansion, the kind that comes when you stop letting the box define you and thereby stop boxing yourself in. Because that's what most of you have been taught to do. You've learned how to get good at one thing or even one system, play one role, and never leave that lane. And if you have multiple roles, you're not doing any of it well. You may have also been somewhat like me and taught to be the strong one, the smart one, the capable one, the one who always has to figure it out, the one who never needs too much, the one who doesn't ruffle feathers, although I ruffle feathers, the one who works hard, keeps their head down, and waits their turn even. But what if, just what if, your turn never comes because you were never meant to wait? In fact, who are you waiting on? What if the next level of your life doesn't fit in the box you built your name inside of? And I'll be transparent. I am evolving and I'm not hiding it anymore. I'm not just a career coach. I never was. I'm a strategist, a truth teller, a voice, a disruptor. I am a powerful woman. And now I'm being called to lead in ways that don't fit into tidy categories or cute little niches. Career, yes, was a doorway. It's something that I am very passionate about, but power has always been the destination. I remember when I first started this company, my very first homepage talked about elevating women into leadership positions where they had the power to change their communities, the power to change their organizations, the power to change their own situations. It has always been about power, and it's just evolved into power in all aspects of your life and achieving power through positioning and communication. This season for me has been very different, and I can feel it in my body. And after years of helping women lead in all the places, all levels of corporate, in the boardrooms, mentoring, etc., I've had to ask myself, am I leading in my own life? And the answer, to be honest, is not in the way I would expect. So I've been on a healing journey, and I'm using the word healing broadly to cover all aspects of my life. Everything from gut health to inflammation in my body, to regulating my nervous system, to learning how to be still, to rest, to set boundaries. Real healing of my mental health, healing of my body, healing of relationships. And healing doesn't mean that I'm keeping the things. It can also mean I'm learning where I need to let go, where I need to say no. And when I'm talking about healing and evolving and leading, I am not talking about self-care. Not that self-care isn't important, but I'm not talking about You just need to go take a bubble bath and you'll be okay. I am talking about a radical restoration of you, of me, because you cannot lead at the level that you're called to if your body is screaming for help. You can't expand your voice if your nervous system is still trapped in survival. It won't allow you to show up in the way that you may have the mental capacity for, you won't have the physical capacity for. Not only that, when your nervous system isn't regulated, when you're sitting in constant doubt, you simply don't show up. And if you're not showing up, that is a reflection of you and your reputation, not other people. It's not their job to see you. It's your job to show up. This is why I'm always like, be the light. But it also means when you stop boxing yourself in, that you get to choose where you show up and where you are the light. For example, I have chosen to show up every weekday this month on this podcast, but I've also chosen not to show up on social media. And this is a part of my evolution, a part of me listening to my intuition, to my discernment. And it's telling me right now that that is not the place for me. I don't like what's happening there. I don't like the energy there. And it's almost akin to either your other spirit or your other world, as an example. And I'm not saying it's a one for one, but I'm trying to give you an example of how to think about, is this for you? And I'm not saying that I won't ever go back to social media, that there won't be clips of this podcast, for example. But one thing I have gotten clear on is that I'm not a surface level entertaining type of girl, and that is okay. Trying to get me to tell you what you need to hear in 90 seconds or less, not my jam. And I'm no longer going to try to force myself into that box. If you see me on social media, it'll be clips of content I've created that is deeper, where you can go to a podcast, a YouTube video that's longer, if you want to hear the rest of the gap that I'm calling out. I'm showing up as I've been called to show up, with the faith and understanding that God will do the rest. That the people who are meant to find me will find me, my people. Not everyone, because I'm not everyone's cup of tea. And this is what you're allowed to do when you stop trying to fit in the box. When you stop trying to be what you think you need to be, what an industry says you need to be, what corporate says you need to be, and think about how you want to fit into your life, into this world, into this society, in a way that feels good in your soul, feel good in your body, but also allows you to meet your purpose, your calling, your impact, what you were destined to do. And if I'm going to teach you how to speak like a leader, how to lead movements, manage millions, and build a legacy, then I have to be willing to go first. This isn't about doing more. I am not doing more. I'm not going to do it. My days of doing more are over. This is an age where it means that I am willing to ask for help. I am willing to delegate. I am willing to say no, even when it's uncomfortable. And I'm a Libra. So conflict and saying no and not being a people pleaser is uncomfortable as, oh my goodness, so uncomfortable for me. We'll just say that. This is about becoming more of who you actually are. It's about developing the capacity to lead, not just in your job, but in your health, in your money, in your relationships, and in your decisions. You are responsible for leading in your decisions, because real power doesn't come from that title you got at the job. It comes from alignment, from integrity, from inner governance. So yes, I am evolving. Thereby, CWL is evolving. The content is shifting. The offers are changing or expanding, and the language is deepening, because I am not here to motivate you to do more of the same. I'm here to move you into higher leadership. I'm not speaking about that on a surface as just a title. I mean higher leadership. That's why I'm not just talking about promotions anymore. Promotions are still in play and what we do, but I'm also talking more about positioning, politics, power, strategy, not just visibility. Visibility is great, but influence is better. Not just career development, but sovereignty. Being the one who is in control and in power of you and your world is better than developing the skills you need for just a career. And I need you to hear this in your spirit. Your evolution is not a threat to your success. It is the requirement for it. We are heading into a season where the world will reward those who have clarity, courage, and capacity. Not just credentials, not just multiple degrees, not just connections, capacity. There is a shift happening. You've been resting, so I know you feel it. And capacity starts with being willing to break the box you built to survive in. So before we step into the next phase of CWL, invitations to work with me, transformation, I want you to feel why we're doing this. We're not growing for growth's sakes. We're evolving because the world is changing. And you were never meant to stay stuck in the middle or a version of yourself you've outgrown. This is a sacred week. It's the week leading up to Easter. A time of resurrection, yes, but it's also a time of reckoning. What parts of you have to die so the real you can rise? Not the perfect you, not the palatable you, not the productive you. The you that is powerful, the you that is present, the you that is ready. You don't need permission. You need to make a decision. Confident women lead because they know exactly how to step into their next level on purpose, in power, and without apology. I love you, sis. Let's get to work.